Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Batwoman Season 2, and yeah, got some interesting, that's probably the best way to put it, interesting things to go over. Now, Batwoman started filming at the beginning of this month. They were the first DC TV show on any of the platforms, whether it was CW, HBO Max, anything like that, to start filming their new season. I think they started on like September 4th, so I think they've been going for exactly 3 weeks today. Like, today is the 3-week mark since they started. And we finally have some set photos to go over. Now, we did have some shots of Javicia Leslie, the new Batwoman, on set the other day. I think it was about like 2 or 3 days ago, something like that. But it was just her as like her character, Ryan Wilder. She wasn't dressed up as Batwoman. She was dressed up in a civilian. You should be able to see it on screen right now. And it was like a robbery at like a grocery shop or something. Whether she stops it in her civilian clothes or not, I don't know. It was hard to get the context. But yeah, they did a scene like that, so you get to see at least what Ryan Wilder dresses like when she's not in the Batsuit. Now, it did seem that the first look we would get of Javicia Leslie in the Batsuit would be from set rather than an official photo that they'd post on social media. Like, you know, when like the Flash gets a new suit, they'll post a photo of it or something like that, or like a big character gets a new suit or just gets a suit in general. They'll put it on social media before they film on set. It seemed likely that we're just going to get something from set rather than anything like that after nothing was shown in DC fandom a couple of weeks back. Now, there could be a good reason behind that, which we'll jump into when we talk about the suit. But yeah. But in regards to getting something from set, that is exactly what happened, as we will bring up in a second in the video. But we also got the first look at something quite interesting, and that was actually the Batmobile, of all things, by the look of it and by the sounds of it. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know your various opinions on this, or your first reactions to it, especially like not just the suit, this apparent Batmobile. Let me know all your opinions down there in the comments section down below. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you're just excited for things in general, why not drop a like on the video, show your support. Now, in regards to what episode this is, it does seem that this was filming for episode 2 or 3. It's definitely not 1, because they've been, it's 3 weeks after they started episode 1. It's not clear, though, whether it's episode 2 or 3. It's most likely episode 2, but it could be episode 3. It's going to be one of them, but those episode numbers, once again, will play into what I think is going on with the suit when we discuss it more. Now, in regards to the scene that they were filming a scene where a bus, or like a Crow security bus, which hopefully you can see on screen right now, was driven by a member, obviously, of the Crows, and it races down the street and comes to a halt before the new Batwoman, suited up completely, steps out of this quote-unquote Batmobile and engages, with whatever is inside that bus. Like, the Crow driver comes out, she steps inside, and then that's when the scene ends. There's no like sense of dialogue. It's just what could be seen and described. Maybe there's people on there, like a prisoner. Maybe it's Alice. Who knows who's in there? But she takes control of the bus for some reason. But yeah, we are going to go over these set photos. These are from Canada Graphs, which you should be able to tell by the big watermark across the screen. But I will leave the link to his blog where he has many more photos. I think there's like over 40 photos or something there. I can only show a few here, but there's over 40 on that blog post, as well as a bit more info that I didn't go over here because it's not 100% relating to the scene. But if you're interested in the show, you might find all that information interesting, so link in the description. So I already showed you that Crow security bus and that shot from the other day, but the first one we have here is of the back side, if you want to call it, of the Batsuit. And the first thing you should be able to notice is like, hey, this looks very similar to the Season 1 Batsuit, and especially when we go to the next one, I'll probably put them side by side so you can get like a front view and a back view. They are the same suit. Obviously, it's probably going to be, it would have been tailored a bit, but it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if this is exactly Ruby Rose's suit from Season 1. The only thing I am questioning, and I think that the photos do, I can't show you a lot here just because I am limited with the amount of photos I can show, but I think she's got a cowl that actually covers up her face. If you remember back to Season 1 of Batwoman, about like, I think it was just after Crisis, Ruby Rose's Kate Kane, she got like a new face mask that like didn't really cover a lot of her face because like the material was giving her like an allergic reaction. It seems that maybe Javicia Leslie doesn't have to deal with that, and she can actually wear like a full face mask, or not face mask, like a full cowl that covers pretty much most of her face and wasn't as open as Kate Kane's was. And the main thing is that you can't really see like the neck. I think Kate, you can like see like the top of the neck and everything like that. And it wasn't the best disguise for a Bat family member, or at least Batwoman. But yeah, she's wearing pretty much the same suit outside of maybe wearing a more closed up cowl similar to early on in Batwoman season 1, complete with a red wig and everything like that, and even like detailing the same cape and all of that. Now, my initial thoughts on this is I don't see them sticking with this, and this comes back to that thing I was talking about in regards to this being like episode 2 or 3. If you've watched like my previous video, or one of my previous videos talking about Batwoman, my theory was that she would wear this suit, and that's what it sounded like through audition tapes. Like she pretty much finds the suit, and that's how like Team Batwoman or like Luke Fox finds her, because she's in possession of Kate's suit. And I think she's going to wear this suit for like the first 2, 3, 4, first few episodes, or first several episodes of the season, and then she'll get her own one. And just looking at it, I don't think she looks amazing in this style of suit. I think she needs her own suit that suits her, because this suit was designed to be very aesthetically pleasing on Ruby Rose. And I'm not just saying in regards to the dimensions, because as I said, they would have tailored the suit to fit Javicia. They're not going to make her wear either a ridiculously tight suit or a very baggy suit. But in this case, it would be probably a very tight suit, because Ruby Rose is like figure compared to Javicia, and also height and everything like that. So they'd have to have tailored it. So I don't think they would have made a new suit. They just, as I said, they tailored it. So I don't know when in the season she should get her own suit, but I think this suit, as I said, was designed to look really good on Ruby Rose, and I think Javicia needs her own suit. Whether it is the same color styling and just maybe just looks different in areas. Like I think they said that like the red wig wasn't staying, but then that is the red wig, or is going to be different or something like that. So that should be a hint as to this not being what she's going to wear for very long. It'll be interesting how they go about it. Like it doesn't look terrible. Like it's probably like a 7 out of 10, I guess, on her. But like on Ruby, it was like a 10, because that suit was designed for her. It's like when Stephen Amell wore Grant's Flash suit in Elseworlds. It looked super tight. It didn't work on him that well. It worked well enough for that crossover, but it wasn't for him. He wouldn't have worn it. If we had to deal with that for like much longer, it wouldn't have been that great. So it's similar to this situation. So I'm excited to see what they do with her in regards to giving her own suit. If it's the same color styling, if it's, you know, a complete 180. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe we get some set photos of it, but I think that would be the photo that they would release an official photo for on social media before, you know, it was captured on set. So, you know, maybe we'll get that in like 2 weeks or something. We'll have to wait and see. But obviously the second part of this video, or at least the second big thing of note in this video, is the Batmobile. Now there's a shot here. This is like that thing I was saying, how she like steps out of the Batmobile and approaches the bus. You can see a bit of the Batmobile here. Not the best, it just shows that she was driving it. That's probably the main thing to point out here. I'm not too sure what car it is. I'm trying to see, because they took off all the emblems on the car, like the insignia, to say what brand it was, or they covered it up. I'm trying to look at the steering wheel. I don't know if that's a Porsche logo or not. It's hard to tell. But I don't know what car it is. I like cars, but I'm not the biggest car expert, so someone might have to give me an idea as to what car it is. But it's good enough car to be the quote-unquote Batmobile, apparently. But here we do get a front-on angle, which looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. But the main thing that the big one here that just sort of shows us maybe what they might do in post, like production, is this one here, this funnel one here, where you can see the car, but you can see it has all like the mocap markers, or the motion capture markers all over it, which means either it's for like CGI purposes, or they might add some detailing to it in post to make it look much different. I'm excited to see what they do actually. Now, as I said, they were referring to it as the Batmobile on set. Now, this doesn't mean this was Batman's Batmobile. It's just that they're going to call it the Batmobile on the show because it's the car that Batwoman drives. It's the Batmobile then. Like, it's like in season 1 when Kate rode that bike. We're calling it the Bat Bike. So, you know, if she's driving, if Ryan Wilder's Batwoman or Javicia Leslie's Batwoman is driving this, then it's the Batmobile, you know? Oh, and I know there's going to be saying, well, she can drive this because, you know, the Robert Pattinson movie, you know, he's got that. But that's like a Batman in his like second year. Batman's meant to have been around for like God knows how many years. So it will be interesting to see if this is maybe like an older version of the Batmobile that Batman used to drive, or if this is like a car that maybe Luke makes up in between seasons, for people to drive, or something that he was working on, or was just a vehicle that was there, and it's just the vehicle that they choose to use. It'll be interesting, but I'm excited to see what they do with all these mocap markers, whether it's for any sort of aesthetic change in post, or if it's for another reason. We'll have to wait and see, but the Batmobile's on the show, apparently, or at least that's what they're calling it. But yeah, overall, like, there's nothing too worrying about these first set photos in regards to her. Obviously, as I said, it was a pretty basic scene where we couldn't hear any dialogue, and it's just her getting out of a car and approaching a bus. There's no major thing there, and as I said, it's like, you can see it's like sort of from a distance away, so there's no major warning points there. I'm still excited for this, because I'm just excited to see how they transition over from Kate to Ryan Wilder. I think it's going to be messy in areas, but you know, I'm just excited to see what they do, and how they, if they do it like as clean as I hope they will. That's the big question. But you know, Batmobile, potential of a new Batsuit, because that suit, as I said, it's like a 7 out of 10 on her, but it's not amazing. So I think she's going to get something different, but we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on what we went over in this video and everything like that. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.